Hello and greetings everyone, this is Colonel Sam here coming to you from the mobile CP Houston. And today I got a message for Governor Roy Cooper. He's the governor of my state, the Tarheel State. Yeah, I'm a proud North Carolinian. And I got a message for you today, Roy. Or perhaps I should just say Governor. Here's the message. You know, there's a statue that sits on a faraway battlefield. I'm certain it's one that you have never visited. And inscribed upon that statue are these words: "To the eternal glory of the North Carolina soldiers who on this battlefield displayed heroism unsurpassed, sacrificing all in support of their cause. Their valorous deeds will be enshrined in the hearts of men long after these transient memorials have crumbled into dust." If you had actually visited that statue, Governor, you would look into the faces of young men, determined, facing the enemy, prepared to cross over a mile of open ground against all odds in defense of a cause they believed in. And these men depicted are Tar Heels. They're Carolina boys, hailing from North Carolina. But based on some words that you had to say, your cowardly guidance with regards to anything that depicts those valorous men from North Carolina who stood in the gap and stood for a cause, that their memory should be erased, that somehow what they were so determined to fight for, to bleed for, and to die for was not justified. As a matter of fact, according to you, these were evil men, and the memory of them needs to be eradicated from the face of the earth. Because that's basically what we interpreted what you had to say meant. That's how it came across to all of my fellow North Carolinians who are proud descendants of Confederate veterans. Over 155,000 North Carolinians answered the call of the Confederacy, of which over 40,000 died. North Carolina contributed more to the Southern cause than any other state, sans Virginia. And yet, to listen to you, now we are to believe, all of us, many millions of proud descendants of Confederate veterans, that you know better than us, that you now know, 150 years later, that they were evil, that they all uniformly stood for something that was terrible, and that the memory of these individuals who we look back with pride upon our hearts to, that their memory needs to be eradicated. And by the way, the statue I'm talking about is in Gettysburg. 32 North Carolina regiments were in action at Gettysburg. 32. One Confederate soldier in 4 who fell there was from North Carolina. Governor, I cannot even emphasize how disappointed I am in you. I am disappointed in you in making a decision, a rash decision, to go in agreement with the very fringe group who have a right to feel how they feel, but a very fringe minority group, many of whom are not even from North Carolina, now overrule the sentiment and the pride of your constituents. If you had made the announcement when you were running for governor that you intended to remove these monuments, you would not have been elected. Here is how you lead. And see, you were elected to office to lead. The way you lead is you educate. You don't eradicate. You educate by actually promoting books that provide the actual context of history. The history of the individuals that you now intend to erase from our memory, to blot them from view, and to condemn them, claiming that you know that they were evil in their heart. Governor, you need to think again. You need to lead from the front. Leading from the front means that you will actually pick up something that will educate others as to who these individuals are, what they stood for not only before the war, but also during the war and what they did, those who survived, after the war to help rebuild not only North Carolina, but our nation. I'm disappointed in you, Governor, very much so. And your words of this past week have been a direct insult to the millions of descendants, proud descendants of Confederate veterans, because what you have told all of them, what you have told me, is that my great-grandpa John Houston, who served in Company E, 6th North Carolina Regiment, is that he was an evil man, that he had evil and racism in his heart. I got news for you, Governor. He didn't even own any slaves. There was something more that he answered a call to. Maybe you should pick the book up and read about it and find out what it was that motivated these 155,000 men to be willing to sacrifice all to serve. But I guess you just don't want to find that out. You just want to follow a narrative whereby which you believe that somehow by tearing down these statues of proud Tar Heels that you're doing a social justice. And you're apologetic for anything that North Carolinians did in their history. That's not leadership, Governor. I'll tell you what. I grew up proud of my family lineage. I was the first ever Service Academy appointee from Avery County when I went to West Point back in 1983, and I have served my nation for over 30 years, retiring as a colonel. Went to Army War College. One of the great benefits of serving my country was that I read, through requirement and through interest, the history of our nation. And in the process, I learned the true context of history of our nation from its foundings, and also history from the foundings of North Carolina till now. I suggest you do the same. And here's what I also offer to you. If you would like to debate this with me anytime, if you would like to talk to me, if you would like to invite me to your mansion to talk about this, I am ready, willing, and able to come and have that conversation with you. But I don't think you will. I don't think you will because you're afraid of knowing the truth. And what you have proposed to do exposes that for all. So enjoy your one term as governor, because you have already let almost all true Tar Heels down by your poor example. This is Colonel Sam, signing off from Mobile CP. See you next time, folks.